There are actually like 14 roller coasters today. I'm really excited. I have mixed opinions about this one. Are you ready for the skid coaster? Oh my god, I'm so excited for this one. What the hell? I don't like it. I really don't like it. Maybe I did too many roller coasters, I don't know. Alright, we're finally here at Kings Island. I'm visiting my sister this week who lives in Cincinnati. She lives a few minutes, like 20 minutes away from Kings Island. And finally, for the first time, I'm here to actually explore this great looking park with amazing rides such as Orion, Diamondback, the Beast, and all kinds of other coasters. As you can see, Camp Snoopy is also getting a new roller coaster here. It's opening 24th of May, which is next week, I believe. So it will not be open, but anyway, there are still amazing other great rides here. I'm also here joined by Bart, of course. There he is. And this is my godson, by the way. Anyway, we're here to explore the park and we're going to have a great time. I cannot wait. I'm really excited. So here we finally are at Kings Island. As you can see, great to be here. We're here to have a fun day. There are a lot of great rides here. There are actually like 14 roller coasters today, which I will try. So we have a limited time, so we're really going to make the most out of our day here. So let's get to the first ride immediately. By the way, when entering here, we have the Eiffel Tower, which is, like they said, a scaled replica of the Eiffel Tower in Paris, of course. But as a European, I can safely say it doesn't really look like the Eiffel Tower. It kind of looks like it, but anyway, it's not really the same thing for sure. But anyway, they did their best, I guess. We're going to the first ride. That will probably be this one here, which is, there you have it, Invertigo. It's a Vekoma Invertigo coaster, which is like a mix between a normal boomerang coaster and a giant inverted boomerang coaster. So it's an inverted one, and you also have the seats which across each other, which is kind of fun. So you can choose between going forward or going backwards, but anyway, you're actually going forward and backwards, both on the ride, so it doesn't really matter. But we're going for that ride for the first time. I actually wanted to try an Invertigo coaster like that at Bagatelle earlier last year in Bagatelle in France. But that one was closed when I was there. So this will be my first Vekoma Invertigo coaster, so I'm kind of excited for it. Let's go. By the way, look at this. That's Delirium, which we also have at Sledgehammer in Bobbejaanland. There we have Banshee, B&M inverted coaster, which is like 10 years old, I believe. Really looking forward to that one because I think it's one of the only ones with vest restraints from B&M, so I'm really looking forward to that. There's a drop tower here, but of course, as I said, we're going for our first ride, which is Invertigo. There it is, behind all those things. There it is, Invertigo. Let's do it. Are you ready for the first coaster, Bart? He's not really paying attention to what I'm saying. Bart, let's take a try. Are you looking forward to the first ride of the day? Yay! Alright, let's do this. Alright, that was Invertigo here, my first Vekoma Invertigo coaster. It was pretty fun, but it's also a headbanger, just like a lot of old Vekoma SLC coasters with those awful restraints where you bang your head a lot of times. It was, it was not the roughest one I did, not the roughest Vekoma I did so far, so it was kind of fun. I think he enjoyed it. But I banged my head a few times, but it was okay. It was doable. It was a fun coaster, but yeah, fun for once. I think there will be a lot better coasters here in this park for sure. And the next one we're doing is probably the Bat, which is an arrow suspended coaster, I think, or Vekoma suspended coaster. I'm not sure. A bit the same as Dreamcatcher in Bobbejaanland, but this one is going to be a lot better, I think. So let's look for the bed. I think we're going in the right direction. We'll see. Okay, now change of plans. We're going to do the drop tower first. Alright, so that was drop tower here. A really fun drop tower. At the end of the drop, I was actually getting a feeling like, oh my god, this needs to stop. I really began to feel it in my stomach, which was kind of unexpected because I don't have that feeling that much in drop towers, but this was a really cool one actually. A really fun one. And now we're going to look for the bed. And otherwise, if the bed is not open, we're going to do this beauty here, Banshee. But first we'll look for the entrance for the bed. Okay, as you can see, there is someone standing at the entrance of the bed, so it's probably closed for now. Let's hope. Fingers crossed it's going to open later today. But there's an even better ride right here, which is Banshee, the suspended or inverted B&M coaster. I'm really looking forward to it. Look at this beauty with the looping it through the lift hill. No, the lift hill through the looping. I really cannot talk anymore just from the excitement. Look at this. I'm really excited for this one, so let's do it. But first, let's get a locker for stuff here. And then we're going to ride Banshee. See you later. That was Banshee here, the B&M inverted coaster. I have mixed opinions about this one actually. First of all, the first drop, really amazing. The rest of the layout is also really cool. But what I didn't really like is the fact that the trains are very shaky actually. Compared to a lot of other B&M inverted coasters, this one is very, very shaky. So I was really, really surprised by that. I'm not sure if I really like this one actually. It's just very strange. It's only 10 years old and these trains are so shaky. It's very strange. But anyway, great layout, great first drop by the way. But I'm not sure. And here we are at Adventure Port or something. I don't know what Adventure Port is. I don't know what rides are here in this area. Anyway, we're going to look for the next coasters, but of course just look at this view. Amazing coaster, very iconic coaster for a theme park enthusiast of course, but I was just kind of disappointed with the rattly trains. But anyway, we're going for the next ride. Let's see what is. Sometimes as a theme park enthusiast I have a feeling I may be a bit of a spoiled brat, because Bart actually liked the ride. He didn't think it was that rattly, but as a theme park enthusiast, maybe I did too many roller coasters, I don't know. I thought it was not the best, but maybe I'm just too negative, I don't know. According to Bart, maybe the first row is better, so maybe, yeah, we were at the back seat now, back row, so maybe front seat is better. We'll see later, but first we're going, as I said, to the next ride, and I'm not sure, there we have it. The Racer, which is a wooden roller coaster. I think it's a dueling roller coaster even. Obviously it's called the Racer. So let's check it out. Did we enjoy the Racer? It was fun for sure. It was very smooth actually. It looks like a pretty old wooden coaster. I'm not sure how old it is, I don't even know what the manufacturer is. But we first thought, okay, this is going to be a bumpy ride because it's quite old, but it was surprisingly smooth actually. It was a really fun, smooth roller coaster. The layout is not that spectacular, it's quite old one as I said. So it's a very out and back kind of style roller coaster. But it's still a very fun one. The airtime is fun. We were on the front row. It was a pretty nice experience on the front row. So I really like this one. Now we're going to the next coaster, and I think that's going to be Flight of Fear or Orion. Oh my god, look at that! Orion, which is such a big roller coaster. I think it's like 92 meters high, I think. A really great one. Look at that. Oh my god, I'm so excited for this one. Are you scared?
No.
No, okay. Actually, he is a little bit maybe, but... No, but actually we're not going to do Orion first because I think Flight of Fear will be first. As you can see there, Flight of Fear, which is an indoor roller coaster. So yeah, we're going to do Flight of Fear first. I'm really looking forward to this one. It's an indoor roller coaster. I think it's a launched indoor roller coaster, but we'll have to see. With inversions, there are definitely inversions, quite sure about that. But let's do Flight of Fear. Alright, so we just did Flight of Fear. He enjoyed it a lot. I didn't enjoy it at all. It was a very shaky ride. It was like a rock and roller coaster, but a cheap version of it. I don't know. It was very bad in my opinion. But anyway, we wanted to do Orion, but that one is closed at this moment due to technical issues, I believe. But I'm sure it will be open later today, so we'll be returning here later. But we're not going to wait because there is a lot of other roller coasters we still need to try here, and I don't want to wait in line for maybe an hour for nothing. I don't know. So we're going to the next ride. I'm not sure what it will be. There's so many good rides here actually, but let's see. Okay, while we're walking to the next ride, we see that Orion is riding again, so we're actually just turning around, going back to Orion, and let's experience, hopefully, fingers crossed, let's experience Orion. Okay, forget what I said, the ride is still testing, it's taking quite a while, so we're going for another ride anyway. We'll get back to this one later. Next ride, I'm not sure what it will be. There is like a Windseeker. That's an interesting kind of Starflyer ride, but from manufacturer I never tried. I don't think I ever tried like a Windseeker in other parks because there are many Windseekers around America, such as in Cedar Point and such. But I don't think I ever tried one like that. But we'll see if it's more enjoyable than, for example, a normal Starflyer from Funtime. But let's get to Windseeker. And there it is, Windseeker, big tower here. It's going up right now. Let's try this one. It's getting quite warm, by the way. Bart this morning was wearing his shorts, and I told him, yeah, no, the weather is not going to be too great, so he changed his pants to long ones.
Never listened to him.
Never listened to me, he said, because it's getting quite warm actually, and we're kind of sweating. I think I'm going to get rid of my sweater also because it's pretty hot here. But anyway, let's get to Windseeker. I mean, look at this. Look how nice this looks. Let's do it. So we did Windseeker. To be honest, quite scary actually, because yeah, it's always with these kind of rides when it's windy up there. It's a bit better than the normal star flyers because those really swing when it's windy. But here it was quite okay. But from Windseeker here, we actually noticed that Orion was open again. So we're going back to Orion for the third time to check out that ride because I'm really excited to ride that one. Bart is also really excited to ride it. Are you really excited? Not very convinced. But anyway, we're going to ride it. Maybe in front, maybe in the back, maybe in the middle. I don't care. I just want to ride it. So let's do it. So we had our first ride on Orion here behind us, the B&M Hypercoaster. Honestly, kind of disappointed maybe. Don't get me wrong, it's a great hypercoaster of course, but actually, like airtime and forces, I think Silver Star in Europa Park is better than this one. This one is higher, but it's, yeah, it was more like, okay, is this it? This is, yeah,
Not scary at all.
not scary at all. Indeed, it looks pretty intimidating, but actually it's not that scary. It's just a bit fun, but it just lacks a bit of airtime in my opinion. There's also at one point an airtime hill with a trim brake. I don't know why they did that, but it's a bit sad because I really looked forward to this one, but it's okay, but not the best. I hope Diamondback, which is right there, another hypercoaster, I hope, fingers crossed, that it will be better. But with that, we're going to the next roller coaster here, which will be Backlot Stunt Coaster, a ride which I kind of look forward to because, yeah, I've seen so many pictures and videos of it when I was a kid. And this park was still like I believe this was a Paramount park, and it was still themed to the Italian Job, this coaster. Now it's called the Backlot Stunt Coaster. Really looking forward to that one. It's, I believe, a premiere ride, multi-launch coaster, or just a launch coaster, I don't know. It's a premiere ride with launches. We're going to check this one out, and I'll see you after the ride. So front row Backlot Stunt Coaster here, very fun ride actually. It's a bit better in my opinion than, for example, Flight of Fear, the indoor coaster. Bart doesn't agree. Bart liked that one a lot more. This one was quite fun. It's not a long one, it's pretty short, but just the theming is very fun. It's like the old Italian Job theming. Now it's called Backlot Stunt Coaster. But what surprised me actually was the fact that when after the first launch you have like that spiral going up, and I kind of grayed out there. I was not expecting that at all. It was pretty strange, but overall really fun family launch coaster. And while we're walking here we have a beautiful view on Diamondback, which is this big roller coaster here. Look at this. It's an amazing roller coaster. It's not as big as Orion, but I hope it will be more interesting. It looks a bit more like Shambhala in Portaventura. It also has the Shambhala kind of trains instead of look at that. I wanted to say is it also has something similar as Shambhala in Portaventura, which is this right here, the water splashing effect, which is pretty cool. But let's ride it. Okay, change of plans again. No, I'm being very chaotic today. I'm not prepared at all. But Mystic Timbers, the wooden coaster, is also here. We're going to ride that one first, and then we're going to do this beauty here behind me. So in the meantime, we did Mystic Timbers, we did Diamondback, and we did the Loch Flume here, the water ride. All great rides actually. We did Mystic Timbers, not really in the front, but like the third row. Great wooden coaster. It's definitely noticeable. It's from the same manufacturer as Wonom in Europa Park because of the out of control wooden coaster feeling. It's really a great coaster. So much better than, for example, the Racer here, which is another wooden coaster. Great GCI coaster. Diamondback also much better in my opinion than Orion, although it's not as high as Orion, but this one is so much better. We did it both in the front and in the back. The back was a lot more fun in my opinion. Bart liked the front more, although the back was a bit more rattly, the front was smoother, but I personally liked it more in the back. But anyway, the third ride we did here, as I said, was the Loch Flume. First part of the Loch Flume, first part of the layout was kind of boring, not really that much happening, and then suddenly when you go down this drop and then that little surprise right there, it gets pretty wet. As you can see, I'm kind of wet. It's kind of warm, so my hair dried quickly, but I did get a very big wave. Bart was also a bit wet. Look at that. But anyway, Diamondback and Mystic Timbers, at this moment, the two best coasters of the park for sure. But we're still not done yet. We still have some coasters to do. So maybe get opinion changes, but I think Mystic Timbers and Diamondback are the best here. So we entered Camp Snoopy with what is it? A Vekoma suspended coaster and the newest ride of the park, which is this one here, the Family Boomerang coaster from Vekoma, the Snoopy's Boxcar Derby something. It's not open yet, but we're going to do suspended coaster here. Okay, this one here, Woodstock Air Rail or something. I don't know what the name is. very bad suspended junior coaster. It's funny actually. I didn't know it existed, but it has the same layout as, for example, the K3 roller skater or Flight of the Hippogriff in Island of Adventures, for example. It's the same layout, but this one is a suspended version of the other one, which is kind of funny. I didn't know that existed actually. But anyway, it exists, but it's very rattly and just a really bad coaster actually. Vekoma is probably an older model, not the best. But anyway, they are building a new Snoopy roller coaster here, which you can see here, as I said, the Snoopy Soap Car Box Derby, Soap Box Car Derby, I don't know how it's called. It's a family boomerang coaster. Really bad coaster, that one. It's a family boomerang coaster, the one they're building here, but it's opening on the 24th of May, which is next week somewhere. Hopefully that will be a lot smoother than this one. But anyway, this one here behind me, good for once, but not really recommending this one. And you also have a disco coaster here from Zamperla. If you have seen a lot of my videos so far, I've done quite some disco coasters from Zamperla actually. But this one is kind of special. As you can see, it's not a disc, but it's like a big boat which spins around. But unfortunately, this one is not open today. Maybe, fingers crossed, we'll be able to do it tomorrow, because actually we decided already that tomorrow we will be back here. This park has so many rides and I really want to do a lot of re-rides, so tomorrow we will be back for sure. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this one, not this one, but this one will be open tomorrow. But it's really nice to see some what is it, kids rides here in the Snoopy themed land. Keynes Island is actually very well known for their really big kids area here, themed to Snoopy, which is nice. But of course, I'm not the target audience, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time in this area. But there's actually another roller coaster here. I think it's somewhere on the left. Ah, there, I see it already. See the blue one there. Another roller coaster. It's a more like kids-friendly wooden roller coaster, so let's try it out. Because on the inside, I feel like a kid. Are you ready for this kids coaster? So, was that the best ride of the day or not?
So fun.
So fun. It was great. It was amazing. It was the most spectacular wooden coaster I did so far. No, it's for kids. It's a really fun wooden coaster. Actually, it's a very fun first coaster experience for kids. It's not really like a very thrilling ride, but it's also not very tame also. It's just fun for kids. I actually enjoyed it a bit more than the suspended coaster earlier. That one was a bit, that was just a shitty ride. This one was a lot better. Now we're going to do something completely different, and that is this one here. What's the name? Boo Blasters on Boo Hill, which is an interactive shooting dart ride. So let's score some more points. Who's going to win? Let's see. Okay, I clearly won, of course. No, I didn't win at all. Bart won, but I have to say it was a really shitty shooting system. It really didn't work.
Just won.
Yeah, he just won. That's right. But it really didn't work well. It was really shitty. But anyway, he won indeed. Now we're back here at the main entrance.
I told you I would win.
Yeah, you told me I would win, I know. Anyway, we're here back at International Street, which is the entrance area, the main street area of the park, with at the end here the Eiffel Tower. We're actually going to look for some food because we're getting hungry, and my sister who lives here in Cincinnati, she told me that we really need to try out the Skyline chili thing, and I believe it's somewhere behind the Eiffel Tower. So we're getting there, and I'll see you somewhere there while eating. I don't know. Bart is very impressed by the Eiffel Tower.
It's a very bad copy.
It's a very bad copy indeed. I think you have also been on the original one, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've both been on the original Eiffel Tower in Paris. This is not it, Americans. This is not it. It's just the proportions. They are not right. It may be a scale model, but just the proportions are really strange. And the Eiffel Tower is also not, what is it, green? I don't know. But anyway, they should have just called it the King's Island Tower. I don't know. So there we have it, the Skyline chili. Now for the people that don't know this dish, I didn't know it either. There's actually some sort of, what is it, spaghetti with tomato sauce and a lot of cheese, although it looks more like cheese with a bit of spaghetti. But anyway, let's have some lunch. So we had our lunch, which was a Skyline chili kind of stuff. It was okay. It was not spectacular. It was just okay. But it was nice. I always like spaghetti, of course. Now we're going to look for another roller coaster, which is the Adventure Express. But I'm not sure where it is actually. It should be somewhere here, but we completely missed it when we passed by earlier. And I even completely lost Bart. I don't know where he is. There he is. I lost you. Anyway, we're going to look for Adventure Express, but I really don't know where we should be. I'll get back to you when I find it. Okay, I think I found it. Adventure Express. Alright, we have found the ride. Adventure Express. It's a mine train coaster, I think, so let's do it. Alright, so Adventure Express, for those who think that Big Thunder Mountain is the wildest ride in the wilderness, this mine train coaster from Arrow definitely is on the second place. It's a very, very wild ride actually, very fun. Now the ride didn't feature like a big drop or anything, it's just very wild experience with a sudden change of directions, sudden little drops, and it was just fun. It has also two lift hills, although it's a bit stupid because the last lift hill is just lift hill back up to the station, which was kind of a disappointment, but the rest of the ride is pretty fun actually. So we're back here at Banshee here, because not to do Banshee, because we're going to do another ride. We're going to do the Bat, which is the, I believe I'm still not sure actually, the Arrow suspended coaster. Fingers crossed it's open right now, but I will have to see. And I don't see anyone. No, the ride is still closed. Bummer. But anyway, let's do Delirium here. The giant frisbee here. It's completely the same as Sledgehammer and Bobby Island, and I really like that one, so I'm going to like this one for sure. And then afterwards, let's do a second try on Banshee to see if it's still not the best inverted coaster. Alright, so in the meantime we did, like I said, Delirium, which is the giant frisbee there. It's the same model as a Sledgehammer, although this one is 2 years older, and it also has different restraints than a Sledgehammer. But I do admit I like Sledgehammer a little bit more, because this one, I'm not sure why, because it's as big as a Sledgehammer, but for some reason Sledgehammer, while riding it, it feels you're going up way higher. But maybe that's just because of the environment here and because of the environment in Bobby Island, which is different. So maybe in Bobby Island, it's the environment makes it seem like you're going higher, maybe because of the trees, I don't know. But this one, I'm a bigger fan of Sledgehammer. But then afterwards, we did Banshee again. I told you guys earlier that Banshee was a fun layout, but the trains were very rattly. Now we did this one on the front seat, completely different. It's like 100 times better. It's a completely different coaster actually. This one was so much better front seat, so I actually really enjoyed it now. It was a really enjoyable coaster. So if you ever come here and you want to have a great first experience on Banshee, try it in the front. This is way better, way better. Alright, and in the meantime we bought some more souvenirs. Yes, I don't have enough t-shirts from Team Park Rides yet. I bought one from Kings Island, a t-shirt. I'll show it later. And then I've also bought a shirt of Diamondback, which in my opinion is the best coaster in this park. But there's a lot of good coasters to choose from. But Diamondback, the best one. And I really like this t-shirt. But we're going for our second... We're going to the best coaster of the park, the Great Pumpkin Coaster. Yeah!
Yeah, he did the children's ride.
I did the children's ride. He has no idea what kind of hidden gem he missed. It was amazing, the best ride in the park. I mean, Diamondback here, you cannot compare it to the Great Pumpkin Coaster. It was really the most spectacular ride I've ever ridden. I mean, the fact that probably Top Thrill 2 in Cedar Point will not be open when I'm visiting, I don't care anymore, because I did the Great Pumpkin Ride. No, anyway, it was just a stupid kiddie coaster. I think it's an Ian F. Myler also, just as the one in Fun Spot in Kissimmee and Fun Spot Orlando. Anyway, we're going to the last coaster of the day, actually the last new one, which will be the Beast, another wooden coaster. And if it's possible later, then we're going to do a re-ride here on Mystic Timbers, which is like the best wooden coaster here I did so far. But first we're going to do the Beast. I'm not sure where the Beast actually is. I'm actually looking around, but I think it's not here. No, that's something else. I don't know where the Beast is. Let's look on the map. It's a stupid thing, by the way, that you don't have a physical map here in the park. You also only have the maps, the big maps on certain places in the park, and of course on the app. It's not very useful. I just want a physical map to just quickly look at things. But anyway, I'm going to look in the app now. All right, I found the Beast. There it is. But let's find the entrance. It should be somewhere here at the right. I guess we need to follow these footsteps, because here we have the Beast. By the way, another thing, if you ever consider buying the FunPix pass, please don't. Because most of the times there's no picture, or the FunPix machines don't work. It's really, yeah, it's really like $30 just for almost nothing. Not worth the price at all. But anyway, we did the Beast here.
The best wooden coaster in the world.
According to Bart, the best wooden coaster in the world.
It's got some speed.
It's got some speed. It's like...
And not shaky.
No, definitely not shaky. But the Beast, it's like a very insane roller coaster. It's like the most out of control wooden coaster I know. It's also the longest wooden coaster in the world, actually, and the second longest roller coaster in the world. But this one, Bart was a very big fan. We rode it twice, but it's really completely out of control. Completely out of control. Especially the second part after the second lift hill. What the hell? Seriously, it's so fast. It's so bumpy. Especially we were on the front seat and on the second ride, I had a feeling like we're going to fly off these tracks. This is just insane. It's really insane. It's not a high roller coaster, but the speed.
It's called the Beast.
It's called the Beast, yeah. But it's just the speed and the roughness and the insanity of this ride. It's a really good wooden coaster, I agree. But I do admit that I like Mystic Timbers more because of the fun layout. But this one was crazy. He doesn't agree with me. Anyway, we're actually, where are we walking to? We're walking to Orion again, I think. I don't know. What do you want?
Ice cream.
Ice cream. Let's do ice cream. I am very convinced with the ice cream, but there's no one here. Okay, forget about the ice cream. The thing was not open. Anyway, we're going for Orion for another ride on that one. I was kind of disappointed by that one, but let's see. Maybe the second ride will be better because, for example, on Banshee, my second ride was way better. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it will be the same on Orion. But let's see. Look at that, Orion. Now I actually would like to do Orion on somewhere at the last rows, or maybe the last row, the back row, because earlier we did it somewhere in the front. I was not really convinced with that ride. So maybe, fingers crossed, maybe somewhere at the back will be better, but we'll have to check it out. Alright, so we just had another ride on Orion. This time actually I liked it a bit more. We were in the last row now. No, not the last row, the second last row. It was a better experience than the first ride. The first drop is a lot better on the last row, or more at the back, in my opinion. But still the ride is not as good as Diamondback in my opinion. Diamondback here is maybe not as high as Orion, but so much better in my opinion. But anyway, we also rode Flight of Fear again, the indoor coaster.
Still a very good one.
I really don't get why Bart likes this indoor ride. It's insane. It's not insane, it's just an awful, old, shaky ride. I really didn't like that one. It's, no, really. The launch is cool, but the rest of the ride is just, I don't like it. I really don't like it. Anyway, we're going to Diamondback again because, like I said, I like that one a lot more than Orion there. And then maybe afterwards we will be doing Mystic Timbers again, but we'll have to see because it's almost 6 o'clock, and which is the closing time of the park. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we will be able to do those two again. But we don't have to worry, because tomorrow we're coming back to this park because we like it so much here, and tomorrow we have nothing on our agenda, so why not come back? But anyway, we're going to Diamondback again now. But honestly, after riding almost all the coasters without riding the bed, I can safely say that both Mystic Timbers there and Diamondback here, in my opinion, are the best coasters here in Kings Island. Really very re-rideable, very cool coasters, but it's very difficult to choose because just all the big coasters here are pretty cool actually. And yes, I might have been telling you guys that Banshee and Orion, for example, were a bit disappointing, but you have to understand the fact that these are all great rides, of course, but they're not the best in my opinion. But of course, they're all world-class roller coasters, of course. You cannot compare Orion, for example, to Fury in Bobby Armand, because Orion is better, of course, but just I expected more. But they're all world-class, of course. So here we're going back to these lockers to put you guys in the locker. Sorry, you cannot join us on the ride. But we're going to do Mystic Timbers here, and like I said, Diamondback, and I cannot wait. Woo! Alright, and with that we did our last rides here at Kings Island for today. We did another ride on Diamondback, which was really great as always. But we also did 2 more rides on Mystic Timbers, one in the front and one in the back. The back is out of control, really, completely out of control.
But the beast is more insane.
But the beast is more insane, that's true. The beast is more out of control, but Mystic Timbers is more like Wodan, kind of out of control, but really good, really good. Now we're not sure if Wodan is actually shorter. I have to look it up, but I have a feeling that Wodan is a bit shorter than Mystic Timbers, and Mystic Timbers is actually, in our opinion, better than Wodan. But oh, sorry, we're bumping into each other here. But in the end, yeah, Mystic Timber is a great wooden coaster. And we're here back at my favorite ride of the day. And Bart, you missed something here, huh? Bart, you missed something here. Yeah, I don't think so. I think he does. It was incredible. But the park is closed now. It's 6 o'clock. They just announced that all the rides closed. So we're back here at the entrance, at the exit actually, because we're going home. Tomorrow is another day, and tomorrow we'll be back here at Kings Island because we love this place so much. So many great rides. Like I said, Diamondback, really great. Mystic Timbers are really great. The Beast, although it's quite a shaky one, it's really insanely great actually in my opinion. Banshee also fun in the front, not in the back. Orion also, it's doable, it's okay. So there are a lot of great rides here for sure. But also the whole park looks pretty clean. It's not Disneyland or Disney World in terms of theming and storytelling and such. It's more like a Six Flags kind of park. But the park just looks charming. I mean, look at this here behind me. And also the staff is very friendly. They work hard. The operations are really good here. So overall, I really enjoyed my day here. And of course, I will be back tomorrow. But after tomorrow, I'm sure I will be back here on another trip because this park is really worth coming for sure. But that's it for now. I'll see you again in the next video, in the next park. No, the next video here actually in this park. I'll just see you in the next video. See ya.